All praise and honor and glory to the Most High. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High.
Kahara Yahweh Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. That's giving all honor, praises, glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His anointed Son Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorant because Jesus Christ. We come out here in these last days, and we're living in the last days, to call the people of the Most High back into the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Or else He's going to kill you in the land of your captivity, right? Thus said the Most High, right? And we want to start Matthew chapter 18. Let's start it.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
So the brother just read, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So I can see 2 of us out here. So we know that our Messiah, Yahushua, not Jesus, Yahushua, Hebrew name, is in the midst of us, right?
Write that out.
So that's the first one. Let me get Matthew 22 and 9, right? Now, while we're here,
Read not the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 9. Go ye therefore into the highways.
see that? He said, these is red letters. Go ye therefore into the highways. He didn't say go into the church. He said into the highways. Read.
And as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage.
And as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. Call them back to the Most High. Jeremiah 3 and 14. Why Christ told you to bid them to the marriage, right? Because He said, as many as you can find, bid to the marriage. Now I'm going to show why Christ told you to bid them to the marriage, right? Read that, King.
Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children.
That's what the Most High is calling you, backsliding children. Read.
Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord.
Now say it like I'm here.
Saith the Lord, for I am married unto you.
So why did Christ tell you to bid them to the marriage? Read that again.
For I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city,
One of a city,
and 2 of a family,
2 of a family,
and I will bring you to Zion.
and He will bring you to Zion, right? And He's going to take you from here in Belize, the land of your captivity, and bring you into Zion. Thus saith the Most High. I didn't say that. I didn't write that. I read that, right? So now I'm going to get into a little lesson that I prepared to teach out here today, right? Because we here to break down strongholds, right? And the one stronghold that I'm out here that I want to break down in the spirit is you're not Africans, right? I don't know who told you you're African. You're not an African. You don't find that in the Bible. Let me get Romans 15 and 4. That's the first scripture I'm going to get into my lesson.
Read not the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning.
So whatever is written in this Bible from way back when, yesteryears, were written for our learning. Read.
That we, through patience and hope and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
That we through patience and hope of the scriptures might have hope, right? And I have hope to get removed from this land of my captivity and taken back to Zion. Like that verse that was read before said, right? So that's my hope. But why are we thinking we Africans in this last days here in Belize? Let me get Jeremiah. The first step is to see what the Most High did to us. Jeremiah 17 and 4. This is something the Most High did to us.
Read not the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
So you're going to get this continued from the heritage that he gave you. Right? So you're no longer going to refer to yourself as a child of God, as a Israelite, as a child of Israel, but you're going to refer to yourself as Creole. You're going to refer to yourself as Belizean, as Black, as Mayan, as Hispanic. You're going to refer to yourself as thugs, tots, hot girls, all kind of garbage. But you're not going to call yourself the name that the Most High Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushua called you. Right? Continue, King.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Now they're serving the Most High.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
You are here in Belize serving your enemies, whether you know it or not. Read.
In the land which thou knowest not.
In a land that thou knowest not, because we are from Jerusalem. That's where we came from, right? Zion is calling. That's where we come from. Zion, not Belize. This is the land of your enemy. Read.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger,
We lit the anger of the Most High.
which shall burn forever.
Now it's just for 2 days.
Which shall burn forever.
That's what the Bible said. I didn't say that. We're reading this out the Bible. Right? But we don't know that we are the children of God. We call ourselves all kinds of things under the sun. Let's show you the Bible tells you that too. Isaiah 1 and 3. Right? That you call yourself everything under the sun, but the name the Most High called you. Right? You don't know who you are. You call yourself a Creole. You call yourself a Belizean. But those are two words you'll never find in the Bible. I'll give anybody $1,000 right now to find Creole in the Bible. Or Belizean.
Read not the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So the Most High said, a dumb animal, a beast of burden, an ox know his owner.
And the ass his master's crib.
Now he's saying a dumb, stubborn animal, an ass know where he lives.
But Israel does not know.
What the Most High say?
But Israel does not know.
His people don't know.
My people do not consider.
Now they don't consider. Read the next verse.
A sinful nation.
What are we?
A sinful nation.
Now we praise the Most High.
A sinful nation. A people laden with iniquity.
We're filled with sin.
A seed of evildoers.
Now we're blessed people, King.
A seed of evildoers.
Now, King, that guy just said, well, I'm blessed.
A seed of evildoers.
We are a seed of evildoers. Thus said the Most High. I don't care what you tell yourself.
Children that are corrupters.
What are they?
Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Now the Most High is chilling and happy with them, King.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
You provoked the Most High unto anger.
They are gone away backwards.
You're sliding backwards. Instead of coming to the Most High, you're sliding further and further into sin. Thus said the Most High. You're sliding backwards. And He's going to require that thing of you.
Bring down all praise.
Right? But I'm getting on to my lesson that we are not Africans. Because we all think we're Africans. Some of us think we're Egyptians. Some of us think we're Ethiopians. We think we're everything under the sun but what we actually are. Right? Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Read not the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou knowest, whither thou goest to possess it.
So this is Moses talking to the children of Israel, the people of the Most High, when the Most High put you in your holy land,
and have cast out many nations before thee,
and throughout the nations that was living there,
the Hittites,
the Hittites,
and the Girgashites,
the Girgashites,
and the Amorites,
continue,
and the Canaanites,
the Canaanites,
and the Perizzites,
Continue.
and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
So the Most High threw 7 greater and mightier nations out of that land than we are, than his people are. Read.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them from thee,
When he delivered them to you,
thou shalt smite them.
now we shall make covenants with them.
Thou shalt smite them.
Now King Uzziah is wrong. It said we should marry them.
Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
The Most High said we were to destroy them.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them,
No covenant with them.
nor show mercy unto them.
Nor show mercy unto them. Read.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
We're not supposed to make marriages with these people that was in our land.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son,
We was not supposed to give our daughters unto the sons of these people.
nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
We was not supposed to take their daughters unto our sons. It said we were supposed to make no covenant with them.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Why did the Most High tell us not to make covenant with them?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Because if we get in league with them, they will turn away our sons from following the Most High. Read.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods.
So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you.
And in that day, the Most High is going to get angry at you for serving other gods.
And destroy thee suddenly.
Now, and bless you.
And destroy thee suddenly.
That's what the Most High said, right? And destroy these suddenly.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images.
You are supposed to destroy all their false gods and destroy their images. What is that?
And cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. For thou
Read that.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power.
And the reason the Most High was telling you all of this, don't make little league with them, he said, for thou art an holy people. The word holy means separate people.
The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Most High said, you are special to him, only to him, and you shouldn't be in league with no one else.
Above all people.
Now, he said us equal to,
Above all people.
beneath people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Most High said, you are better than everybody else that is upon the earth. Right? Now that's it. So the Most High said we are better than all these people. That's why he separated us. That's why he told us don't get in league with them. Right? Let me get Joshua chapter 23, verses 11. Because I'm building up to showing that we are not Africans. Right? That's my point right here. Most Believers think we're Africans. We came from Africa. I need the book, chapter, and verse that say that. Because we are not. You will not find it in the Bible.
Read not the book of Joshua, chapter 23, and verse 1. Verse 11. Take good heed therefore unto yourselves,
Check yourself
that ye love the Lord your God.
that you love the Most High, your power.
Else if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations.
If you go and you make marriages and covenants with these heathens,
Even these that remain among you,
even the ones that are around you today,
and shall make marriages with them,
and you marrying them,
and go in unto them, and they to you.
and you doing the same with their sons,
Know for a certainty that the Most High thy power
know for certain that the Most High, thy power,
will no more drive out any of these nations from before you,
he will not drive them away from you,
but they shall be snares and traps unto you.
but they shall be snares and traps unto you. Thus said the Most High.
and scourges in your sides,
There'll be scourges in your side,
and thorns in your eyes,
and thorns in your eyes,
until you perish from off this good land which the Lord thy power have given you.
So all these people that are around you, that are not your people, are only here to cause you to be in pain, cause you to sin, cause you to make the Most High angry at you. That's their only purpose. That's why he said, get away from them. Right? Let me get Judges chapter 2, verse 1 through 3. We're going to read. Right? I'm sticking on this. Right? Because we don't know. We think we are all one people, but the Bible doesn't confirm that BS. 1, 2, 3.
Read not the book of Judges, chapter 2 and verse 1. And an angel of the Most High came up to Gilgal,
So it said an angel of the Lord came up to Gilgal,
to Boshim, and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you onto the land which I swear unto your fathers.
right?
And I said, I will never break my covenant with you.
The Most High said he will never break his covenant with you. Read.
And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land.
Now you're supposed to make covenants with these people.
And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice.
What the Most High said,
Ye shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice.
we have not obeyed the Most High. We marrying these people, the Most High said not to marry. We making covenants and leagues with these people. The Most High distinctly said, if you do that, I will be angry at you. And we are doing it to this day. We're still doing it.
But ye have not obeyed my voice.
What the Most High said,
But ye have not obeyed my voice.
we have not obeyed his voice. Read.
Why have you done this?
What?
Why have you done this?
Why have you not obeyed the Lord's voice?
Wherefore, I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your side.
These people that you are making leagues with, they're going to be thorns in your side.
And their God shall be a snare unto you.
And their Muslim gods, their Roman Catholic gods, all these churches, the gods in these churches are going to be snares onto you. The word snare means a trap onto you.
Read out.
Read. That's it. That's it. Let me get First Ezra chapter 8, verse 69. Right? Because I'm on this thing that I'm showing. We are not African. Brother, you know you're not African, right? You're not Belizean either. You're an Israelite. If you're a Creole man, you're known as an Israelite. You can't find African, nor Belizean, or Creole nowhere in the Bible. So you can't possibly be any of those things. And when we read Ecclesiastes 4 and 15, it says, there is no end to the people. So whatever he called you back then is what he calls you today. Right? Yes.
Read not the book of Second Ezra.
Now, first Ezra.
Read not the book of First Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
We have not forsaken these strange people. We still deal with them today. Matter of fact, the 2 verses before says, we left them among us to be traps unto us. Right? So you associating, mingling, making leagues, covenant with these people, you are setting your trap for yourself. Thus said the Most High. Read.
Nor the pollution of the Gentiles.
What?
Nor the pollution of the
No,
Gentiles.
the blessings of the Gentiles.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles. To wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites.
You see that? He called out some of these heathens that we are in league with, right? These people are around still today. We just don't know them by these names. We call them all different types of names now. But these people are still around, right? So now let me go.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters.
What have we done?
For both their and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people.
We have mixed our holy seed with these heathens, these disgusting heathens. Right? The Most High said holy. The word holy means set apart or separate. So he's saying our seed is set apart. It's not like the other people. It is holy. Right? Now I'm getting more and more into this. Genesis chapter 32, verse 26 to 28. Of course, now I'm going to touch on are we Africans or not. But most of those nations that we were mentioning out, listed out, were what we call today Africans. But we are not none of them. 26 to 28.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh.
Well, read the book, let me see something. No, that's good. That's what I wanted. Start at verse 24, and we're going to read to 28.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 32, and verse 24. And Jacob was left alone.
Jacob was left alone.
And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
And he wrestled with a man until daybreak.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
So this man that was wrestling Jacob saw that he wasn't winning. He touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh.
And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint.
He knocked his thigh out of joint.
As he wrestled with him.
And
he said, let me go.
And the man that touched Jacob's thigh said, let me go.
For the day breaketh.
For it is daybreak.
And he said, I will not let thee go.
What Jacob said?
I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
So now, is this any regular man? Can any regular man bless Jacob? No, anybody just can't bless Jacob. So Jacob said, I'm not going to let you go unless you bless me.
And he said unto him, what is thy name?
So the man asked Jacob, what is your name?
And he said, Jacob.
And he told him, Jacob.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
But your name no longer will be called Jacob.
But Israel.
But what?
But Israel. For a prince has thou power with the Most High.
For a prince of Israel, the word Israel, that's the English transliteration, right? It means prince of the power, just like it said there. Read that part of it.
But Israel, for a prince has thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed.
And has prevailed, right? That's what it said. So the Most High, through Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, blessed him and changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Not to Belize, not to Creole, but to Israel. See? So now, when Moses came and freed the Israelites from bondage in Egypt, he took them into the wilderness, Deuteronomy 29 and 1. And let's see who Moses made a covenant with. Let's see if Moses made a covenant with the whole wide world, with all the people of the world. If he made a covenant with Christians, who did Moses make a covenant with?
Read not the book of Deuteronomy.
I don't want the whole verse, but read.
Read not the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Not with the children of the white man.
To make with the children of Israel.
Not with the whole wide world.
To make with the children of Israel.
With Christians.
The children of Israel.
The children of Israel. Read.
In the land of Moab.
Okay, that's all I want. These are the covenant, words of the covenant that the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. The verse before I read that a man wrestled and his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And this covenant is with his children, not the whole wide world. Forget Christianity, right? This covenant was made with the children of Israel. Thus saith the Most High. Let me get, now, again, we are not Africans. Let me get Galatians 4 and 26. Let's see if the Bible said, because if I ask anybody, where's the motherland, they're going to tell you Africa. But watch what the Bible's going to tell you the motherland is right here. Read that, King.
Galatians chapter 4 and verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
Now, but Africa, which is above.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
Now, Egypt.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Now, it's just a piece of land.
Which is the mother of us all.
Now, it said Mother Africa, King.
Which is the mother of us all.
It did not say that Africa is the motherland. It said Jerusalem, which is above, is free. Right? And why above? Because it's on the tip of Africa, on the northeast corner of Africa. It's above, it's free, and it's the mother of us all. Right? So, get it out of your head. You're not an African. If you call yourself a Creole man, you're not an African. Get it out of your head. Let me get Matthew chapter 2. Read me verse 7 and 8. We're going to stay there for a little bit, Matthew chapter 2. I'll skip a few 7 verses.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 7 and 8. Yeah. Read not the book of St. Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men.
So this is talking about King Herod after Yahushua, who the world called Jesus, was born. Read, King.
Inquired of them diligently.
He was asking the wise men some questions.
What time the star appeared? And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child.
Go and search for the Messiah, the baby Christ, right? The baby Yahushua. Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. And being warned of God in a dream.
So these wise men that Herod told to look and find the Christ and come tell me when you find him, the Most High gave them a dream, because the Most High speaks to us in dreams, right? He said he gave them a dream. Let's see what the Most High told them in this dream.
And being warned of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod.
Don't go back to Herod.
They departed into their own country another way.
So after they met Christ, they left and went into their own country another way. They did not go back to Herod. Right? Let me get verse 19 to 21 now. Because I'm trying to lay a foundation for something here. We are not Africans. We're not Cushites. We're not Egyptians. We're not Ethiopians. We're none of those things.
But when, verse 19, but when Herod was dead,
but after Herod died,
behold, an angel of the Most High appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt.
Where was Joseph?
In Egypt.
So when Christ was born in Bethlehem and Herod tried to kill him, where did Christ go?
In a dream to Joseph in Egypt.
He went into Egypt, what you call Africa,
saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel.
And go back to Israel.
For they are dead which sought the young child's life.
But these people that seek this life in Israel are dead now. So you could go back to Israel with him. You could pick up out of Egypt, which everybody knows is in Africa, and go back into Israel. So I'm laying the foundation that Christ once fled into Africa. Right?
And he arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel.
And he arose with the young child and went back to Israel. A clear distinction between Egypt and Israel. They're on the same continent, but the Most High is making a clear distinction that those are two different people. Right? There you go. Let me get Psalms chapter 105. Start at verse 22. We're going to read right back to 27. I'm going to show this distinction between Israel and Africa because they're not the same. And if you are a Creole man, you are not an African. You're an Israelite. Thus says the Most High.
Psalm chapter 105 and verse 22. and teach his senators wisdom. Israel also came into Egypt.
Wait, now, Israel went where?
Israel also came into Egypt.
Israel went into Egypt and what?
And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
And Israel's name was changed to Israel from Jacob. And where did he land it?
And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
He sojourned in the land of Ham. Now, ding, 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 ding. The land of Ham is what we call today Africa. The land of Ham. That's the name of that place, not Africa. The land of Ham, right? And continue reading.
And he increased his people greatly.
While we went into Africa, the land of Ham, we increased there.
And he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their hearts to hate.
Wait, go back 1 second. And increase that and what? Stronger than who?
Stronger than their enemies.
But we in the land of Ham, we one people, okay?
God. Oh, praises to the Most High.
We one people. We are Africans. So why would the Most High put that there? Read that part of
Bring
it.
that over. Verse 23, Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies.
He made them stronger than their enemies. And we was in the land of Ham, but we call ourselves Africans today, right? The Africans come from the land of Ham. He said we went into that land. He didn't say we're from there.
He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants.
Continue.
He sent Moses his servant,
He sent Moses his servant
and Aaron whom he had chosen.
and Aaron whom he had chosen, and what they did?
They showed his signs among them and wonders in the land of Ham.
Now they showed signs and wonders in Egypt.
They showed his signs among them and wonders in the land of Ham.
In the land of Ham. Egypt is in the land of Ham. Completely different people from you. You are Israelites, not Hamites.
Bring that up.
You're not Hamites. The Most High said he sent you into the land of Ham and made those your enemies hate you. That's what he just read. Let me get Daniel chapter 9 verse 7. This is what's going on now, though, right? Because now you call yourself African. Some of our brothers so bugs out, they think they're Kemet. They actually believe they're the same people that had them slaves. How ridiculous is that?
Verse 7.
Right.
Read not the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee,
All righteousness belongs to the Most High Yahweh Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai.
but unto us
But unto us,
confusion of faces.
now we Africans,
But unto us confusion of faces.
now King, I'm an Ethiopian King.
But unto us confusion of faces.
We have confusion of faces. We don't know who we are. We call ourselves everything under the sun but what the Most High Yahweh call you. Confusion of faces.
As at this day.
As what? As what?
As at this day.
As it is today. You're confused.
To the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off through all the countries whither thou hast driven them.
Everywhere he's driven us, we are suffering from confusion of faces. We calling ourselves people that were not.
Because of their trespassing.
Why is that?
Because of their trespass.
Because you sinned against the Most High.
That they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of faith.
To us belong confusion of faces.
To our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers. Because we have sinned against thee.
Thus said the Most High. You see why we got confusion of faces? Because we've sinned against the Most High. And he did this to us. He did this to us. There we go. We suffer from confusion of faces. We call ourselves Africans. We We call ourselves Egyptians. We call ourselves Ethiopians. We call ourselves everything under the sun but what the Most High called us. Right? Let me get Micah. Let me get Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Matter of fact, hold that. Get me Ham in the Son of Man first. And then Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Because it told us in Psalms that Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. So now I'm going to prove and show who Ham is out the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
This is a compact Bible dictionary from Zondervan. The definition of Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So Ham is the youngest son of Noah. There was Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham was youngest.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood.
He was probably about 96 years more or less when the flood came.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
And one of only 8 people to live through the flood.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
He became, the word progenitor means father. He became the father of the dark races. Mr. Creole man, you might say, I'm the dark race, but we.
Not the Negro.
But what?
Not the Negro.
So they call you Creole man a Negro. They don't call Africans Negro.
But the Egyptians.
Who come from Ham?
The Egyptians.
The Egyptians.
The Ethiopians.
The Ethiopians.
Libyans.
And
Canaanites.
These are the children of Ham. You are not none of those people. You are from Shem. You are Israelite from the seed of Shem. Now let me continue in with my lesson. Micah 4 and 10. Right? Because you know, here's a little news flash for you, Creole man. You here in Belize, you're not living your best life. You're actually living your worst life. And guess who put you here? Those Africans.
Bring it out.
They sold you here. And I'm going to get that out the Bible for you. Read that, King.
Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion.
Now, daughter of Africa.
O daughter of Zion.
Daughter of Zion.
Like
Zion is Jerusalem.
Like a woman in travail.
Like a woman about to give birth.
For now shalt thou go forth out of the city.
Now you shall leave Jerusalem.
And thou shalt dwell in the field.
Africa is the field. You're going to leave Jerusalem and you're going to go into Africa.
And thou shalt go even to Babylon.
And from Africa, you're going to go into Babylon. The word Babylon means confusion, a place of confusion. Brother, when you look around here, isn't this confusion? You in Babylon. The Most High said he's going to take you from Jerusalem and you're going to run into the field, which is West Africa. And from West Africa, the field, you're going to go into Babylon.
Even to Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered.
But from Babylon, the Most High, through his son, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, you're going to get delivered from Babylon.
There the Lord shall redeem thee.
There is he going to redeem you from here, where you at, right?
From the hand of your enemy.
Not from the hand of, you know, did you know you're in the hand of your enemy? You want to know how the easiest way to show that you're in the hand of your enemy? Reach into your pocket, pull out any coin, dollar bill that you could get, and you look at that picture and see whose face is on it. Your enemy. You're in their hand. They tell you what goes on and what doesn't happen in Belize, whether you know it or not. They're your enemies. The Bible repeatedly said these people are your enemies. Right? Now get me that in Zondervan, not Zondervan, Babylon to Timbuktu. And that verse I just read, I'm going to show you that in a book, history book. Right? In a history book. Get me to page 84. Watch this. Because it said we're going to, and Christ told you that before. He said when Jerusalem is destroyed and you see it fall, don't come back. You run and hide. right? And Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD after Christ died. And those people ran and hid from the city into the field. Read that. Page 84, down the page. Call the paragraph, second paragraph.
Reading out of From Babylon to Timbuktu, verse 80, page 84, second paragraph. In the year 65 before Christ,
In the year 65 BC,
the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
they took Jerusalem. The Romans took Jerusalem. So a lot of people also don't know when Christ walked the earth, he was a slave. Most people don't even know that Christ was a slave because he had emperors over him. Did they not take Christ to Caesar to crucify him? Yes. So he was a slave. He was a slave. Most people don't even realize that. Read.
In 70 after death, General Vespucian,
In the year 70 AD, that's 70 years after Christ,
General Vespucian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state
they destroyed Jerusalem in the year 70 AD
with great slaughter
with great killing.
during the period of the military governors of Palestine. Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Many atrocities, foul, disgusting things was created against you. It was your forefathers, right? Read.
During the period from Pompey to Julius,
From Pompey to Julius,
it has been estimated that
it is estimated that
over 1 million Jews,
more 1 million Jews, what color are the Jews?
over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
No, they're still in Jerusalem.
Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
The Jews ran from Jerusalem into Africa. Even Christ, when Herod was trying to kill him, ran into Africa, into Egypt to hide. So we were been going into Africa. It's just that we're not Africans, right? Read.
Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution
See, they were
and slavery.
fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
They was full of white Jews.
Black Jews
They were full with black Jews, right?
as slaves.
As slaves. Read page 89. Right? Let me show you something. The last paragraph in page 89. Because people think when those white men went to West Africa and snatched us up, our foreparents up, people think that they snatched slaves. They didn't snatch slaves. Read what they snatched.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes.
You see that separation in this history book between Africans and Jews. Read.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture,
The black Jews had culture,
history,
history,
laws,
laws.
and written records with them.
They had all of this with them. Read.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization.
When the white man came to West Africa and snatched your foreparents up, this is what they snatched. Read.
Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autonomous population. Autonomous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings.
In Ghana, and guess what? Guess where that slave port it was? Ghana, West Africa. It just said in the Ghanaian state, Ghana, where we live, our foreparents lived. Watch what it's going to say, what the white man took.
In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings,
Kings, that's what they
Princes.
took. Not slaves, kings, princes,
governors,
governors,
generals,
generals,
secretaries,
secretaries,
treasurers,
treasurers,
revenue agents,
revenue agents,
judges,
judges,
architects,
architects,
engineers,
engineers,
doctors,
doctors,
historians,
historians,
language interpreters,
language interpreters,
mathematicians,
mathematicians,
jewelers,
continue,
sculptors,
read,
masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturalists, etc.
did it say they took slaves?
No,
I didn't hear it one time it said they took slaves. It said they took from kings and men of valor, men that had trades, that knew the art, that could read the stars, man that did all kind of things. It never said they took slaves. But when it took them, they turned them into slaves. Matter of fact, let me show you that in that's the end of that. Read that part. Read that.
The black Hebrew kings of Ghana had two titles. Kayamaga, master of gold, and Ghana, war chief.
They were masters of gold and war chiefs. Let me show you something. Get me the Baruch chapter, what I want? Chapter 2, verse 1. Because I'm going to show you the exact same thing that was just like there in the Apocrypha, right? That they took all these people and not slaves. Read chapter verse 1.
Baruch chapter 2 and verse 1. Therefore, the Lord had made good his word, which he pronounced against us.
So the Most High made good his word that he pronounced against us. When did he pronounce these words against us?
And against our judges
Against our judges
that judge Israel,
that judge Israel as the kings,
and against our kings,
against our kings,
and against our princes,
and against our princes,
and against the men of Israel and Judah,
and the men of Israel and Judah, the two kingdoms,
to bring upon us great plagues,
now to spread love upon us.
to bring upon us great plagues,
He brought great plagues upon us.
such as never happened under the whole heaven,
Now the white man can say he went through that.
such as never happened under the whole heaven.
No other nation of people can say they went through what we went through at the hand of our Most High God, Yahweh Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Read.
As it came to pass in
It
Jerusalem,
happened.
according to the things that were written in the law of Moses,
Where did he write that he was going to do these things to us?
according to the things that were written in the law of Moses.
He told us this from Moses, freed us from the Egyptians, that if we don't walk in his ways, he's going to do all these things to us.
Read out.
That's what he said. And guess what? When you're walking and looking around and you see the poverty, you see the people bumming out on the street, no disrespect to anyone, because I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but I'm calling it like it is, right? You know that he pronounced this judgment on us, right? Just like he said, Numbers 23 and 19, and I'm going to get back to my lesson. Right? Because the Most High said something, he's going to do it. Read that, please. The Most High doesn't lie.
Read not the book of Numbers, chapter 23 and verse 19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie.
Now, the Most High don't mean nothing when he say. He only say for the sake of saying it.
The Most High is not a man that he should lie.
The Most High is not a man. That means he doesn't lie. Read.
Neither the Son of Man that he should repent.
And he's not the son of a man that he need to say anything and repent. Read.
He have he said and shall not do it.
If he said something, that right there is called a rhetorical question. He's asking you a question that you already know the answer to. Have he said it and shall he not do it?
Or have he spoken and shall he not make it good?
Will I say something and don't make good on what I said? That's why the verse before I read, he said, therefore the Most High has made good on his word. Because if he said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. One last verse before I get into my
Behold, I have received commandments to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it.
He can't reverse it. Read me one more. Psalm 89 and 34. The Most High cannot. Here's the thing, right? The Most High is a perfect entity. If he ever changes his mind on his word, he is no longer perfect because he's good. Right? So he cannot change nothing he says. 89 and 34.
Read not the book of Psalms, chapter 89, in verse 34. My covenant will I not break,
My covenant will I not break.
nor alter the things that is gone out of my lips.
Now I'm going to change my mind.
My covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that is gone out of my lips.
Nor is he going to alter the things that goes from his lips. Now I'm going to continue out this. I got sidetracked a little bit, but I was just showing that the Most High said he was going to do all these things to us, and he did exactly what he said. He told us that 7,000 years ago, and we living through it today. Right? This book is a book of prophecy. The Most High is real. Thus saith the Most High, right? There's no changing in the mind, right? Let me get Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. Right? The Most High does not change. He made a covenant with the children of Israel, not the whole wide world.
Read not the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against the children of Israel shall not a dog move.
It's not against the children of the whole wide world.
But against the children of Israel.
Against the children of Israel.
But against any of the children of Israel.
Against any of the children of Israel.
Shall not a dog move his tongue.
Shall not a dog move his tongue.
Against man or beast.
Against man or beast. Watch this.
That ye may know.
That you should know.
How that the Lord does put a difference.
He put a difference
between the Egyptians and Israel.
That he put a difference between the Creole man, which is the Israelite, and the African. We're not the same people. We're not the same people. Thus said the Most High, Zephaniah 2:12.
How did the Creole men get in Belize?
Slave ships.
So the Creole men came from African slave ships?
No.
Right?
Wait. So let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Do you believe the Creole man to be the Israelites?
I do believe that
Okay.
Israelites.
Get me Psalm 105 verse 22.
I do believe the children of Benjamin came from tribe of Benjamin.
So you're a Benjamite?
Yeah.
I'm a Benjamite.
All right.
Good. We know we're Benjamite
Yes.
in these last days.
But the Africans, they're also Benjamin.
No, they're not. Watch this. Ken, you can't find out where you have to listen, Ken.
How did I become a Benjamin?
Watch this. Watch the Most High tell you right here.
Israel.
You're Israelite, right? You're Israelite, right?
Israel also came into Egypt.
They went into Egypt. Where's Egypt? In Africa, right? So Israel went into Africa. Read.
And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
And Jacob dwelt in the land of Ham. Okay, here's a better question. Give me Galatians.
Brothers took him there.
Now Joseph went there.
Joseph's brothers took him to Egypt.
Yes, but that
never
said
Israel
Joseph.
rise up in Egypt.
Brother, that didn't say Joseph, it said Jacob. Right?
We didn't rise up in Egypt neither, brother. We went into slavery in Egypt.
Bro.
That's what you call rising up.
Wait. Brother, please don't walk away.
Jacob rise up in Egypt.
He rose up,
but
our nation did.
That's what the nation rise up to. And when they see the nation was rising up, that's when they put them to slave because they said these people like they are having too much babies. They're going to take us over. They'll turn them into slaves.
Okay, so now would you put your own people into slaves? Would you enslave your own people?
The Israelites, the Egyptians that put us into slavery.
So we're not Africans. I got one more question for you. One more, brother, before you run away. Galatians 4 and 26. If I ask you right now, what's the motherland? What would you tell me?
Where's the motherland?
Yeah.
The motherland is, Jerusalem, brother.
Oh, there you go. So why are you saying we're East Africans? The Most High made a distinction. Not only did he make
On
it.
that side of Africa, bro. You hold on side of Africa.
Read that. Watch this. Read this.
Anyway, guess what the Most High said too?
Right.
Children of Israel, even though the table was made for you all, you all will be living outside while the adopted children will be sitting at the table. Because it's no longer here.
Where you find that, man? Now I want you to tell me where to find that. I want to bring that up right now.
Not no, you're not advised. Look.
I bet that they in there.
There's no way you to say it.
I live in New York City, listen to Generation here was. I live right beside him, I know what I'm reacting. Just where I could go.
Well, listen to me. The best thing, now what the Bible said, right? Prove all things. So if you can't prove what you just said with the Bible, brother, it's void.
Guess what I prove I think so? Not for you, but myself. So I study
So you're your own God. God said prove, study to show yourself approved to God, not to yourself. To God, not to yourself.
I'm saying I don't got to prove myself to you. I got to tell
There you go. There you go. But you're not dividing the word, King. And I will tell you. But King, look, King. Now, religion don't cause war. The Most High cause war. Get that, King. The Most High cause war. Get that. Get that. Exodus 14 and 3. Read this. Religion don't cause no war. Read that. Exodus 14 and 3. Read this.
Religion is confusion.
Religion is a way of life.
That's confusion.
So let me ask you something. Did Moses come down from Mount Sinai and teach
Religion
religion?
is a way of life.
Religion is
Read
confusion.
this.
Hey, brother.
Read
Hey, brother, I'm not arguing with you, brother. I'm saying religion is a way of life, bro.
Exodus 14 and 3.
No,
But
brother,
you
wait.
said
Can I ask you
religion.
something? Is religion a way of life?
No.
That is what religion is, bro. Religion is a way of life.
No.
What's your religion then?
Religion is garbage.
You can't say
Religion
something with
is
your mouth. You can't say
garbage.
something with your mouth and do something different with your hand, bro.
Religion is crap. I take toilet paper and wipe my butt with religion.
Brother, you know, make I read just something before you go. Because you know where the notice for you, bro.
I'm not brother compared.
You lead to your own understanding. You don't want to hear the Bible. That's why you want to stay in a sin.
He talking about he trying to please God, but he shaved his beard. And say he a Benjamite trying to please. I was going to tell him that, but he didn't want to give me a chance to speak.
Big shopping on the side.
Right? But he anyway.
That's Satan trying to go off the lesson, but this is an excellent lesson. Bring it out.
All right, Zephaniah. So I just read that not even a dog shall raise their tongue against the children of Israel to know that the Most High put a difference between Israel and the Egyptians. Zephaniah 2 and 12.
Reading out the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
So what do the Benjamites that call themselves Rasta in Belize like to call themselves?
Ye Ethiopians also,
They call themselves Ethiopians.
ye shall be slain by my sword.
You're going to get killed by the sword of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High.
In other words, they're claiming death.
Yeah, some have made it friend, right?
They made a covenant.
Right?
That brother right there that was a spirit, man.
Khan. Barking against the word of the Most
Straight
High.
spirit.
Calling, adding to the scriptures.
He quoting things that ain't even in the Bible. He swear it's there. Well, prove it. But see, and then when the Bible say prove all things, I'm not saying that I have to prove something to you. I'm proving my stance.
Yeah.
That's you have to prove your stance, prove your belief.
Bring forth thy strong cause.
That's a scripture.
Bring forth thy strong, produce
Like
thy
strong
cause.
reason or something like
Yeah,
that.
produce thy cause, bring forth thy strong reason. Right? Let me continue. Now, I just showed two African nations. One, the Most High put a difference between Egypt and Israel, and the Ethiopians, that the Rastaman like to say the Ethiopians, is going to get slain by his sword. And here's the reason the Ethiopians going to get slain by the sword. Because they were the Babylonians.
So like they saying Christ died for the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, but the Most High will kill him anyway.
Bro, makes no
It
sense.
doesn't even make
So
sense.
don't hold up, right? Let me get Joel chapter 3, no, Amos chapter 1. I'm going to show you that it's the Africans that did this to us, right? Chapter 9, verse 9 and 10.
Amos, chapter 1 and verse 9. Thus said the Most High, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus,
So that's like a saying, but like a proverb. 3 transgressions of Tyrus,
and for 4,
and for 4,
I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
I will not turn away the punishment thereof. But here's something people don't know. If you Google and search where Tyrus is, it's a country on the coast, in the coastline of Africa. Right? Read.
And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof,
The Most High said he's not going to turn away the punishment of Tyrus. Read.
because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom.
What?
Because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom.
They delivered the whole captivity to Edom, who is the white man.
And remember not the brotherly covenant.
They forgot they had a covenant with the children of Israel.
But I will set a fire on the wall of Tyrus,
But he's going to send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, the African nation,
which shall devour the palaces thereof.
and devour their palaces. Right? So it just said Tyrus, which is an African nation, delivered us up onto the Edomites. Right? Now I'm gonna get it even better. Right? A more clearer rendition of that same scripture, right? And this time it's in Joel chapter 3, verse 4, and we're going to read verse 2 to verse 8.
Read not the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 4. Yeah, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon?
What have you to do with me, Tyre? Tyre is Tyrus, that same African nation on the coast of Africa, right? And Sidon, right? Read.
And all the coasts of Palestine,
And the whole coast of Palestine, all them African countries, read.
will you render me a recompense?
Will you pay me back?
And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
And if you pay me back, quickly and swiftly will I bring it back upon your own head. Thus saith the Most High.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
Why?
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my godly pleasant things.
You took my godly, pleasant things and carried it into your disgusting temples.
The children also of Judah,
What? The children of Judah, that's the southern kingdom,
and the children all of Jerusalem,
Jerusalem, the
have ye
northern
sold-
kingdom.
have he sold unto the Grecians.
What did these Africans do?
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians.
So when a white person tell you that Africans sold African, they're wrong. Africans sold Israelites.
That ye might remove them far from their border.
We believe, where are we?
That ye might remove them far from their border.
You was removed far from your border.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them.
Right now we in believe the Most High said he's going to raise them up out of the places where you sold them,
And I will return your recompense upon your own head.
and I will pay you back the exact same way. Read.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters.
Stop. Ooh, this is deep. That's why this is deep. This verse right here is
Justice.
speaking about in the kingdom of heaven. Right? This is a future prophecy, the kingdom of heaven. What's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven? Read.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
So the Most High says, in the kingdom of heaven, those Africans that sold you to the white man, I will turn it right back and sell them into the hands of the children of Judah.
And they shall sell them to the Sabines.
And they shall sell them, these Africans, to the Sabians. Read.
To a people far off.
Now, right next door to them.
To a people far off. For the Lord hath spoken it.
Why is it going to happen?
For the Lord hath spoken it.
That's why it's going to happen. For the Most High Yahweh has spoken it. Right? People are confused and they got it all twisted. They don't know that in the kingdom of heaven you're going to have slaves. But they should have known that. Guess why? Because you're in the kingdom of the white man. How you know in the kingdom of the white man? Opening your bag, reach into any coin, and you're going to see a picture of a white person on it. You in their kingdom, and you their slave. You think you free? Try to leave Belize and go to Mexico and see how free you are. Right? Why these people are mad, right?
They insane.
Madness, right? Read Exodus chapter 21, verse 16.
When we some people, when you talk about everybody doing shit going on,
Well, that's
that don't
madness.
got no sense.
Madness.
That's just what?
21 and 16.
That's madness.
So these people, watch this. These people sold you to the white man.
Exodus chapter 21 and verse 16.
What the Most High said?
And he that stealeth the man,
Did they not steal us? Yes, they did. These Africans stole us.
and selleth him,
And they sold us.
or if he be found in his hand,
We still in the hands of the people they sold us to.
he shall surely be put to death.
What does the Most High say is going to happen when Christ returns?
He shall surely be put to death.
The people that sold us and the people that bought us. Thus saith the Most High, they shall surely be put to death. Thus saith Yahweh. Right? We are still in the hands of the white man. You don't believe that? I'm going to keep on saying it. Reach for any coin you got in your pocket and see whose face is on that coin. You're going to see a white person. You're still in their hands. Right? Let me get Tobit chapter 13, right, verse 3 to 5. Right? We are still, and this is why me and the brothers are here right now. Read, King.
Read not the book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles.
We are confessing him in front of these dirty, stinking Gentiles.
Ye children of Israel.
Now, he's talking to the whole world.
Ye children of Israel.
He said, confess the Most High in front of the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. Read.
For he has scattered us among them.
Because the Most High scattered us among them. Read.
There declare his greatness.
Yeah, we're declaring his greatness. Telling you the Most High is going to come in his anger and with his worship that you call UFOs, and he's going to light this place up. Read.
And extol him before all the living. For he is our Lord.
He is our other one.
And he is the God of our fathers forever.
Now, just till Christ came the first stop.
And he is the power of our fathers forever. And he will scourge us for our iniquity.
And that's what we're facing right now. Scourge means to whip. And he's whipping us right now for our sins.
And will have mercy again.
Now, he's going to be mad at us forever.
And will have mercy again.
He's going to have mercy upon us again.
And will gather us out of all nations.
Now, just out of America, King.
And will gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us.
Including Belize. He gathered us out of all nations that he scattered us. Right?
If you turn to him with your whole heart,
Now,
and with your whole mind,
Now, if you are stepping.
if you turn to him with your whole heart and with your whole mind and deal uprightly before him, then will he turn unto you and will not hide his face from you.
So basically, if you're not doing these things, he's hiding his face from you.
Fox.
That's what it's saying right here, right?
Fox.
So if you are not doing these things, the Most High is hiding his face from you. Thus says the Most High. Me, myself, and the brother will put that in there. We're reading this. And let me get
It's in Hosea.
I know, 5 and 15. Bring that and bring it to 5. The Most High said, he will show you his face if you do what he asks of you diligently.
Read not the book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place
He will go and return to his place
till they acknowledge their offense.
till you acknowledge that you are a sinner and that you are sinning in his eyes,
And seek my face.
and seek his face.
In their affliction, they will seek me early.
You see that? He said he will return to his place. He's hiding himself from you. Right? You can also find that in, I think, Isaiah 59, chapter 1. Start at verse 1. And then I'm going to go back into the Apocrypha.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, the Most High's hand is not shortened, that he cannot save.
The hands of the Most High is not short that he can't save. Read.
Neither his ear heavy, that he cannot hear.
Exodus 1, 2 say God can't lie. 1 Revelation
Brother man, I'm going to call you a coward to your face, right? Because you talk and walk away like a little girl.
Bring that out.
Right? A real man stands up and fight for what he believes in.
Bring it out.
I'm going to call you a coward to your face.
God.
Right? Yeah, tell them, please continue, King, and let that devil go.
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
Neither is his ears heavy, that he can't hear when he's calling unto him.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your God.
But your sins have separated you from your power.
And your sins have hid his face from you.
And because of the sin, what?
And your sins have hid his face from you.
And your sins have hid the face of the Most High from you.
That he will not hear.
That he won't hear you. So I don't care what nobody says. The Most High plainly tell you, if you're sinning, he doesn't hear you. So now when you pray for that car and you get it, and you sinning, who gave you that car? What he said.
John chapter 9 and verse 31. Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners.
No, the Most High hears sinners, King.
Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners.
He doesn't hear sinners.
But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High, and doeth his will, him he hears.
But if you worship the Most High and do his will, Psalms 48 told you that the will of the Most High is his laws, he will hear you. Thus said the Most High. I didn't write that. You don't have to do that. Let's continue. Get me Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 1. Because we out here boldly. We not whimpering behind a church pulpit. We boldly out here proclaiming the name of the Most High Yahweh Shem HaMashiach all the time. Right? We're not wimps and cowards out here. We don't say something and walk away like that girly guy that just walked, that effeminate guy that walked away just now.
Read not the book of Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Now we don't stand like cowards.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
We boldly out here telling you what time it is.
Before the face of such have afflicted him, of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor.
And made no account of the labor. We saying this in front of 4 heathen buildings right here.
Read out.
Right? In front of them boldly. And guess what? These people afflict you. You don't know it? They afflict you. They walk you hard with pennies on the dollar. Right? They flew halfway around the world to come and eat off of your back. Right? They come and reap your benefit. They jump on a plane for 18 to 20 hours. I don't even want to be on a bus for 18 to 20 minutes, right? And they do it on a plane to come here and reap your blessings. So I don't care what nobody says, right? Let me get 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6, right? Because these people that did these things for you, the Most High got something for them, though. They should have known it. These Africans that sold you and these white men that bought you should have known it.
Read now the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing to the Most High, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So it's a righteous thing for the Most High to pay back people that trouble you. Only you don't do it. The Most High put that spirit when it's time to do it. Right? So we waiting, we patiently waiting for that day. Hebrews 10 and 36. We patiently waiting for that day. Right? We're not going to rush into this because we know that the Most High keeps his promise. And his promise don't go on our time or when we want it. It goes on his time. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 36. For ye have need of patience.
What are we doing?
For ye have need of patience.
The Most High said we need to have patience. Read.
That after ye have done the will of God,
once we're doing his laws,
you might receive the promise
of the kingdom and of having slaves And I want everything the Most High says is going to give to me.
For yet a little while,
Just wait a little while.
and he that shall come will come,
And he that shall come, Yahushua, who the world called Christ, will come.
and will not tarry.
He won't delay. He's coming on the Most High's time and not on our time and on when we want it. He's coming. Right? Let me get Sirach 2 and 12. I think 14. Let me see. I'm going to tell you. 14. That lost patience. Read that.
Read not the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Destruction unto you that have lost patience.
And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you?
And what are you going to do when Christ visits you? What are you going to do? You already lost patience. But read the verse before, double-minded as it is. That goes both ways.
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believed not.
Not one. Just maybe the verse before that. Oh, yeah.
Woe be to fearful heart.
Call the verse.
Sirach chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe be to fearful heart.
Woe, destruction be to the fearful heart.
And faint hands.
And faint hands, weak hands.
And the sinner that goeth two ways.
And the one that thinks they will believe in Christ one day and be in the world the next. Right? Destruction is coming onto you. You know why? Because you lost patience. You didn't patiently wait for your Messiah. Right? You didn't patiently wait for your Messiah. You got something? Bring it up, please. Woe to you that lost patience.
Second Peter chapter 3.
Okay. No, I got 9, right? So read it.
Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust.
They walk walking after his own lust.
And saying, where is the promise of his coming?
They don't believe that Christ is coming.
For since the fathers fell asleep,
Since way back when,
all things continue as they were from the beginning,
things are still as it was back then.
from the beginning of the creation.
Right from the beginning of time, they've lost patience also. Right? And give me how the color. Last time I wrote this 2 and 2. Started 2 and 1. And we're going to read now 2 and 2 and 3. 2 and 2, verse 2 and 3. I bet 2 and 3. 2 and 2, start 2.
Read not the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
So the Most High, Habakkuk is telling you, the Most High told him to write your vision and make it plain upon tables for the people. Read.
That he may run that read it.
That who read it may run. Read.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Because a vision is for appointed time. The Most High already appointed that time. Yahushua, who the world called Christ, is coming back.
But at the end it shall speak
But that day is going to come. It will speak.
and not lie.
It ain't going to lie. Read.
Though it tarry,
Though it's taking its time.
wait for it.
What?
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Because it will surely come.
Now, it's not going to come, kid.
Because it will surely come.
Because that day will surely come.
It will not tarry.
It's coming. Best believe that that day's coming. It will not tarry. Right? Let me go back into my thing, right? So, I got a couple more verses. Jeremiah 30 and 60. This is what's going to happen to those people that sold you Israelites into captivity.
Read not the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
All the people that grabbed you, made you slave, sold you, they devoured you. The Most High said they're going to get devoured.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them,
Now, some of them,
every one of them,
King, not the African,
every one of them,
not the white man.
every one of them shall go into captivity.
Every one of them is going into slavery.
Bring it out.
They Thus saith the Most High.
And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled.
And the people that spoiled you are going to get spoiled.
And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
And the people that prey upon you, he's going to give them to you for a prey. Thus saith the Most High. And we are patiently waiting for that day. We are patiently waiting for that day. Right? Let me get Isaiah chapter 40. Because this is all throughout the Bible that the Most High want to do these things for you.
Read not the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
He's going to have mercy on the Israelites, the people he called Jacob, sons of Jacob.
And will yet choose Israel.
And he's going to choose the Israelites.
And set them in their own land.
He's going to take you back to Jerusalem.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Guess who the strangers are? Those are the heathens.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And they're going to grab on to you, Israelite man.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
And we're going to take them. Now, it said we're going to ask them to come with us.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
We're going to snatch them up and take them back to Jerusalem. Read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them.
When you possess something, you own it. And we're going to possess these heathens. Read that.
And the children of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord.
And Jerusalem is the land of the Lord.
For servants and handmaids.
Now we're going to have them as BFFs.
For servants and handmaids.
They're going to be your slaves.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
You are their captives today. And you're going to take them and they're going to be your slaves on the day that Christ returns. Thus said the Most High.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Now we're going to be best friends.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Thus said the Most High. Let me get verse 20. Now let me get that in Revelation on the Most Christ. 2 and 25. Start 25.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
But the things you got, hold on tight until Yahweh shall return.
And he that overcometh,
And you that prevail,
and keepeth my works unto the end,
and keep my laws to the end,
to him will I give power over the nation.
to him will I give power over these heathens.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Now we're going to be their best friends, King.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
And you're going to rule these heathens with a rod of iron. This is coming out the mouth of Christ, the Messiah.
As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers,
And you're going to break them to nothing. Thus saith the Most High.
even as I received of my Father.
All praises, right? And let me get my last scripture. We're going to go into Luke 1 last time, chapter 2 again. I read the first part, verses to chapter 2. Now I'm going to start at verse 30 and read to the end, and we will wrap up with that.
Read not the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me,
But the Most High said he knew you wasn't going to listen to him
because it is a stiff-necked people.
because you're hard-headed.
But in the land of their captivities,
Believes.
they shall remember themselves.
That's a brother, he remembered himself. He know he's not a Belizean. He's not a Creole man. Nowhere do you find that in the Bible. He's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Right? Read, King.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves,
Like we are out here,
and shall know that I am the Lord their God.
that he is the Most High, our power. Read.
For I will give them a heart and ears to hear,
And we're going to hear, read,
and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity.
like we are doing this exact moment, praising him in the land of our captivity.
And
Read.
think upon my name.
And we're going to think upon the name Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Not Jesus or not Jehovah. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Read.
And return from their stiff neck
And we're going to turn from our sins
and from their wicked deeds.
and from our wicked ways.
For they shall remember the way of their fathers,
We're going to remember our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Isaiah, and the list goes on and on.
which sin before the Lord, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers.
And He's going to take us back to that holy land, Yasharala.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob,
Before that land of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
and they shall be lords of it,
And we're going to be rulers of it.
and I will increase them,
And the Most High said He's going to increase us in that land.
and they shall not be diminished.
Come out here and speak your mind. Don't be a coward on the door. Come out here and speak like us. Speak your mind.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God,
And He will be our God.
and they shall be my people.
And we shall be His people.
And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
And He will no more drive us out of the land that He has given us.
All praises to the Most High.
And with that, I say Shalom. Yahweh, Barashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Kwam Yeshua.